Hi. So this we are supposed to conduct this interview, and so this interview is part of a larger user validation process that we are supposed to use in our course Data Entrepreneurship for Action. And
Mm-hmm.
so we have this startup idea. We have formed a team, and the startup idea is about opening this investment or trading automation app, and so we are supposed to interview as many users as possible and try to get their feedback. And so
Okay.
this interview is trying to achieve the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
as our app is supposed to target international audiences and have an international presence, so I feel like this interview would be a good start, I guess. Um,
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So, so let's start with introduction about yourself. Could you just say a few words about where you're from and what you do?
Okay. So yeah, my name is Naman, and I come from India. I live here with my family, and I've done my education and from here, from India itself. And currently, I'm working in an MNC
Okay.
as a developer. And my
Mm-hmm.
education also was in IT, so I'm an IT engineer, having about 3.5 years of experience overall.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much about me professionally.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So let's just move on to some general questions about your investment approach or investment activities. So
Okay.
I want to ask you, what do you say, when did you start your investment? Like, what would be the first, let's say, date of when you started investing activities?
Okay. So I think it was in April 2020, right after a month after our first lockdown here due to COVID.
Okay, I
So
see.
that's when I started. That's when I got the time, you know, so that I could invest time in investing.
Yes.
So in April, I think I started with stocks. So that's what I think my was my first time when I started this.
Okay, perfect. So I guess we can move on to the next part of the interview.
Hmm.
I want to talk about what are the pain points or what are the problems that you face while using these apps. So I guess
Okay.
you've covered around like four different types or four different markets.
Hmm.
I just wanted to discuss what are the main problems that you have while using apps for these different markets. Let's
Okay.
start with crypto, maybe. Let's say. So, what do you think are the main,
Okay.
sort of problems in while you use apps related to cryptocurrencies or investment, at least?
Okay, so these are not just specific to apps, right? Or it's in general, right? For like crypto investment as well, or it's just the apps you want to know the pain points for?
I mean, I guess when you say that you use crypto, you invest in crypto, I'm assuming that you have to use some sort of an app that you can't
Yeah, yeah,
directly do that. So,
right, right,
so
yeah.
yeah, I guess that would include
So
that.
just the app, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so like I said, I use Binance for my crypto investments in futures. So initially, when I installed Binance and when I had to first look at it, it wasn't really as simple to understand. Starting with that, so it was really a quite complex UI, and on the top of that, it's futures. So
Hmm.
the prerequisites and the understanding that was required to start with futures was quite a lot to consume, especially for a beginner. I mean, I wasn't exactly a beginner in investing, but I was a beginner in cryptocurrency investments. So yeah, it was, I think, quite difficult, and I wouldn't say it was easy at all to understand the UI and the features and the requirements that were needed to start with futures. So that was the thing with crypto. UI looked good, it looked pretty, but yeah, the complexity was a little bit on the higher side.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Um, Okay, so let's just move on to another question, one important question, which is So I want to know like what issues you are facing with the user interface itself. So I guess you've already described 4 different avenues where you invest, and I just want to know like the apps that you use for these investments. What would be like the some of the major concerns, I guess, or something that you want to improve in these apps? Could you please expand on that?
Related to UI.
Yeah, some related to UI or just the app itself. Like what would you like to see changed in the apps? Something that could be improved.
Okay, so like one of the most common problems with these apps is like some unexpected events that happen, while using the app. So sometimes due to heavy traffic, the server is down, or maybe you can't even log in to the app. I have faced that a couple of times. I mean, maybe more
Okay.
than that in my stock app that I use in India here. So not being able to log in, and I mean, I guess that's a problem more for the intraday traders, because they need to log in, they need to watch the, watch how they're going to sell and when they're going to sell their stocks. So these things can be troublesome for intraday people. But yeah, even not being able to log in is not a good thing at all. So those things happen due to heavy traffic and server problems and scalability issues. So whenever there's high user load and the app just stops working and you cannot see any of your positions or your growth on that particular day. So those things happen. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess if I understand, like the main concern is in times of I guess high demand, let's say, or when a
Yeah.
lot of users try to use the app concurrently, it does. I guess you face some performance issues there.
Yeah.
But
Right.
but you could say that that would be expected since yeah, it's very hard to predict like when those user spikes will come.
When would
So
there
I
be high
guess
traffic? Yeah.
indeed,
Yeah.
indeed,
It's hard to predict. Yeah. And
yes,
yeah, someone whose funds are stuck might not be able to think straight at that point. So that's the
that is
concern.
true as well. Yes, yes,
So yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever faced loss because of that, because I don't really sell anything. So I just look at
that's true.
it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
people who face losses because of that may be more, angry on that thing. That's what I read on social media as well.
indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, so yeah, I guess like that is the first or the most important concern that you would have is performance issues when these sort of unexpected events happen in the market, maybe like a crash or something like that, and then suddenly a lot of users want to sell, and then you won't be able to sell since the app just won't respond.
Hmm.
Okay, but so yeah, I just wanted to ask if there is any other there are any other issues that you face apart from this one. Would you have like let's say just a second one? What would be the second factor, the second most important one?
Uh, I think the settlement time maybe,
Okay,
because yeah, usually when if you sell something, the settlement time while it reaches your wallet, your app wallet, it takes a couple of days. I mean, and when you try to withdraw it into your bank account, that would take time as well. So it's not instant. So if the time can be reduced or something can be done about that, I don't know if it's feasible or not, but if something like that happens, if they reduce the time, the withdrawal time, maybe that would be a good thing. So yeah.
okay. So is this is that delay between like the time when you click that exit button and the time when the funds arrive in your account, is that due to the network in between, or is that delay because of the provider itself? Like, what do you think? Where does the delay occur?
The
Or I
delay,
guess you wouldn't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the depository systems that are in
Okay,
place. I don't think it's the platform, the exchange platform. It's the depositories where the shares are.
I see. I see. Okay. Okay. Um, so let's move on to the last part of the interview. So
Okay.
we talked about like what are some of the issues that you face while using these apps or these services. Yeah. So I just want to talk about something that you actually like about these features or these apps. So some of the features that you actually love, something that you really
Okay.
want in every app, let's say.
Okay. So like I mentioned earlier in crypto, I like the UI. I mean, just the look of it. It's a good looking UI. So you immediately get attracted to it and you want to get started as soon as possible. So it's good to look at the colors that they use are good, are bright,
Hmm.
and that's about UI. Yeah, and just the interface in general. It's easy to operate. Everything is understandable, like where to locate any feature. It's not that hard.
Okay.
So that feature I like. This is about crypto. Like even in stocks and mutual funds, I like the UI. It's simple. It's not really complicated. So you find your features exactly. You know where to look them, and you find them easily. So those things I like. That's a good experience using the app.
Okay. Um, so I guess that covers equity and crypto. Is there, yeah,
Mhm.
would you have any other, I guess that there's not any more features that you'd like to add to this? Since I'm guessing like these two are the most like prevalent exposures that you have in your portfolio. Is there
Yes,
anything else
yes.
that you'd like to add?
Uh, just the I mean logs, and I don't think there's anything that I require any feature, any specific or special feature that I require. So what I need or what my goal is, these basic features are like good enough for me. So I don't look beyond that. So yeah, nothing too special.
Okay, perfect. So I guess that was the last part of the interview.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we've completed the interview.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was yeah, very helpful. I guess I did have get a lot of good feedbacks regarding some of the more important issues that we have, and yeah, so I guess
Mm-hmm.
this would definitely help in the user validation process that we are following. Um,
I hope. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. But yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for answering the questions as
Yeah. No problem.
yeah, as much as possible, I guess, as honestly as possible. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.